r/Askeddit, what's something that's illegal, but is the right thing to do? A few years ago in Australia, a father caught his young son being raped by the next door neighbor. The father naturally beat the fuck out of his son's rapist, and he ended up getting a larger sentence for assault than the neighbor did for child rape. I don't think I've met a single person that doesn't think the father did the right thing, yet somehow he was still convicted. There was a similar case in the US. The father left the guy's face unrecognizable. If I recall correctly, the father didn't even get handcuffed. Edit, link. Pirating films or games that are no longer on sale anywhere. Harvey Weinstein can eat my ass if he thinks I'm going to pay $75 for a Dogma DVD. Or pirating any games that you wouldn't legally own. If buying isn't owning them, pirating isn't stealing. Stealing neglected animals who are left outside in any weather. I stole a dog that spent 2 years tied to a tree. I was moving, and pissed off, so I walked over and brought him home. He's been here 4 years now. One of my old bosses used to do this. Had plenty of stories from her 20s in rural Texas stealing abused animals and rehoming them. She managed to avoid a bullet and charges, but helped that daddy was a rich dude with some pull. Dumpster diving. Giving food to homeless people. Hopefully those two are separate. When I worked in a bakery, I'd garbage bag up all the pastries at the end of the day as instructed, but then just threw them in my trunk to drop off at the homeless encampment instead of tossing in dumpster. So stupid to waste food. Dumpster diving is legal in a lot of places, but laws prohibit it on the account of stealing if in public or possibly damaging property if private. Dive away as long as you have local permission. Can't believe I have to say this, but feeding the homeless in a lot of states in the US. Also, it is technically illegal to be homeless in all but 2 states in the US. Last time I checked. Laws like this only work when you give people a viable alternative option. When you don't, you essentially criminalize living and automatically create an untenable situation with no solution. Euthanasia for terminally ill people in pain or with extremely poor quality of life. There is a case going on in Denmark right now with an elderly couple, who wanted to die together. The wife had Parkinson's and dementia, the husband cancer. He gave them both a lethal dose of methadone, but doctors managed to save him, and now he's being prosecuted. I believe it's legal in Oregon as well. I'm hoping this is legal nationwide by time I'm old and need it. Legal in Canada, Switzerland, and other countries. My great-grandpa noticed that his neighbor neglected his dog, and I think he beat it as well. So one day, my great-grandpa went to his garden and stole it. From that day on, that was now his dog, and the dog lived a better life because of it, even though the poor thing had a lot of trauma. Had a friend going through a rough time and asked me to hold their guns, so I took them. This violated WA state law since I didn't go through an FFL dealer. Over a couple of years their physical and mental health improved, they found a partner, and I returned the guns without going through an FFL dealer. Fuck laws, live morally. One of my buddies worked in a pastry shop. They would bake fresh pastry every morning, and give out unsold stuff to local homeless people at the end of the day. That was until one of the homeless people supposedly got food poisoning and took them to small claims. I've been the other guy. You did the right thing. Also WA. Right on. Washington state has a long list of dumbass gun laws. Dressing up as a bat and physically fighting criminals. Pirating. Straight up just media preservation at this point. When streaming exclusives are pulled from their services, not uncommon BTW, or when they can pull media from our digital library that we already own, what TF else do they even expect us to? If paying for games is not owning them, then pirating them is not stealing. Feeding the homeless is illegal in many cities. Helping somebody die that's ready at the end of life. Letting people sleep in your church during lethal conditions, link. My church already does this. That's illegal. My church has been doing that for years. If someone's parking meter time has expired, you are not allowed to add some coins so they don't get a ticket. Handing water to voters waiting in line in Georgia. Oh no, I dropped my cooler full of water bottles next to the line. I hope nobody takes them. If they have to wait in line long enough to even need water, then you've got something seriously wrong with your voting system. Raid an arsenal and start a slave uprising. His soul is marching on. A doctor giving an abortion for a rape victim in Texas. Hiding Anne Frank in your attic. Jury nullification, in some cases. When is jury nullification illegal? Feeding someone else's parking meter if you see it expired and parking meter maid is coming. My dad does this. And walks ahead of the meter maid to do it. Chuckling along the way. Secretly release the raccoon you've trapped next to the police station in the town where they caught you in a crummy speed trap, where they dropped the speed limit from 40 to 25 for one block, just to get revenue. It just felt so right. Not paying tax if you can't afford to eat? In the US this is already true. Roughly half of American households pay no federal income tax. Many even come out ahead due to various tax credits. Going after CEOs and executives that thrive while the worker languishes in poverty and uncertainty. Hunting whales in Oklahoma. I feel like this means something more than the base definition of the words used. Even if it wasn't illegal, no one going to hit on your mom. Giving water to immigrants crossing the border. Where I'm from, if you kill someone in self-defense, you'll still be charged for murder. Edit, what I mean to say there's a high chance you can be convicted cause people are stupid. Edit 2, for those who are asking where, Arkansas, US. Charged isn't the same as convicted. It's reasonable to have a trial anytime someone is killed by another person in case it wasn't justified. A killing is pretty much always probable cause for indictment, but that doesn't mean they'll be convicted of murder at the trial if it's ruled a justified homicide. I'm not sure it's actually illegal, but you can set up a food distribution and start feeding the homeless. There were a bunch of homeless people in a park near here. Some people came and set up a makeshift buffet and was handing out food. The police came and made them shut it down and destroyed/discarded all the food because they weren't licensed to distribute food. Giving people standing in line to vote water. Opening more voting centers around each state. Declaring voting day a countrywide paid holiday. Automatic registration to vote when people come of age. Feeding the homeless apparently. Smoke weed instead of getting drunk. Depends on where you live. Food Not Bombs does these all the time in my town and has no issues with the cops. Other cities, your mileage may vary. So I was Uber driving the other day and a young mother and her 3-month-old ordered a ride to be picked up at a children's hospital in the freezing ass cold. I get there, no car seat. Fuck, I can't leave these people. Oh well, guess I'm gonna just take that chance and get them home. I feel like they customers should mention if they have a baby or not so you can deny the ride if you don't have a car seat. It's not fair to just expect people to have car seats. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.